Baba says that just like Baba is the teacher and the Satguru, Sat means truth. So Baba says, I am the Satguru who tells you the truth. And because the child is like the father, so you are also a teacher and a Satguru like me. Baba doesn't even use the word master today. Baba says, I am the teacher, you are the teacher, and I am the Satguru, you are the Satguru. Now you see that we live in a world which is called Jhuti Maya, Jhuti Kaya, Jhuta Sab Sansar, which means that this world is false, it is illusory, even this body is an illusion. And you see that Baba takes us, pulls us out of this falsehood and he brings us to light, the light of truth. And Baba's knowledge or the truth that Baba gives us is very new knowledge. Yes, it is new knowledge. And when something new comes up, it faces a lot of storms. Yes, so you see that when for the first time Galileo said that the earth is not flat, it's round, then he was killed for that. Yes, so whenever you tell the truth in the world of falsehood, you face a lot of resistance. But Baba says there's a very beautiful law that the boat of truth will rock, but it will not sink. So because when truth comes, then all the falsehood unites against the truth. And then it becomes a force. And then they start, pushing your boat of truth, rocking your boat of truth. And you face a lot of storms. But Baba says that you must know this law, that the boat of truth will rock, but it will not sink. But what do you do when the boat of truth rocks? You have to have courage. You have to have faith that it will not sink. And you don't have to be afraid. Because there's another law. The one who is afraid dies. Jo dar gaya so mar gaya. So if you're afraid, then your fear drowns you, not the storm. But if you have faith, so the opposite of fear is faith. So when you have faith that, the destination is mine and I will reach it, and however many storms come, they cannot drown me, they can only rock the boat. So if you have that profound faith, then you will sail across. And you don't have to be afraid. So Baba says that this is the way in which Baba makes us sit on the boat of truth. And then Baba tells us that on this boat of truth, don't be afraid. Let many storms come, let them rock it. but have faith, you will not sink, and then you will go across. Now you see that we live in a world of falsehood, and not only is the external world a world of falsehood, but even our own sanskars are false. Our own sanskars, because for 63 births we have lived by, believed in all the falsehood of the world, and our own personal belief systems, our own sanskars are also an aspect of the falsehood of the world. So the storms don't only come from outside, they also come from inside. Yes, and Baba tells us that, you see, when we say truth, what is truth? So there is a truth and a falsehood associated with every aspect of life. So when you think about it, there is something called true thinking and false thinking, true attitude, false attitude, true consciousness, false consciousness, true way of eating, drinking, sleeping, and false way of eating, drinking, sleeping, true attitude towards relationships and false attitude towards relationships, true attitude towards the work you do and false attitude towards the work you do. So you see, there is a truth and a falsehood associated with everything, and that is a product of knowing the fundamental truths. So the fundamental truths, when we talk about fundamental truths, they are the truth about who you are, who you really belong to, and what is the beginning, middle, and end of this creation. What is the truth about the original state of this world, and what is the truth about where we are going in this world. So that is the fundamental truth. But when you internalize the fundamental truth, then you arrive at an aspect of truth about everything that you do in your life, so-called second by second, the life that you lead. How do you do everything in the true way? So that is a byproduct of the fundamental truth. So just start with, this consciousness, the true consciousness that, everybody is a soul brother. We are not even brothers and sisters. We are just soul brothers. And when you start thinking about this, and then you start having this consciousness and attitude that everybody around me is a soul brother, then everybody is just worthy of your respect and spiritual love. And there is no other obligation from your part towards anybody else. So, as a soul brother, you don't owe anybody anything, and nobody owes anything to you. You just owe everybody spiritual love and respect. But in the world, you are taught that you owe this to this person, and this person owes this to you, and then you have so many expectations which arise from this righteous, this sense of righteousness, that what I am expecting is not wrong, because by virtue of the bodily relation or the bodily context, this is a very valid expectation. Yes, so, and then those expectations are resulting in disappointment. But when you start holding this truth in your awareness, that I am a brother soul to every brother soul, and nobody owes me anything and I don't owe anybody anything. And I remember, there was this one situation where there was a person in that scenario who was an elder, and that person could have supported me in a problem that I was facing. But they didn't support me. And then I was completely okay with it. And I handled that thing with Baba, and there was no expectation from a physical person, and I had yoga with Baba, and that storm was crossed. And then there was somebody who told me that that person betrayed you in that scene because they should have supported you. It was in their power and it was their duty to support you there. And then I said, no, I'm very thankful they didn't support me because I now know from experience that you can cross every storm with Baba. And I do not have any such expectations from any person that they owe me this support or this, whatever, in any scene. Even if you are capable of it, you don't owe me that. It's a choice, right? So if you are able to understand this one simple thing, it makes your life very easy. So, sometimes other people's expectations are imposed on us, and then it takes the form of regret and guilt, and you feel so many emotions because it is said you are supposed to do this, you should do this, and you're not doing it. And then you get caught up in that because you think that you owe something to somebody by virtue of their position or the relationship that you're in. But Baba tells us, no, as a soul, you owe everybody just unconditional acceptance, respect, and love. Nothing else. Everything else is your choice. You may or may not, fall into the trap of another person's expectations. So, if somebody is every day forcing you and telling you that, we are sad because of you and you are not fulfilling my expectation, and that expectation is something that you have to and should fulfill, that pressure you don't take, because that's false expectation. And then Baba says, even when it comes to you, you shouldn't have any expectation from anybody. You just understand that nobody owes you anything. And Baba says that the truth is that you belong to Baba and you owe everything to Baba and Baba owes everything to you. So Baba is your father, teacher, Sadguru. He will give you whatever you need and he is there for you always. But you have to trust him. So, his ways and means are very different, and Baba gives you whatever you need, not whatever you want. Yes, Baba gives you whatever you need, not whatever you want. And when you trust that you have deep faith that Baba is looking out for me and Baba always gives me what I need. I may be a child who doesn't understand that, and I may throw tantrums and say that, Baba, you're not giving me what I want, but Baba is giving you what you need. And what you need and what you want may be very different because we are body conscious and we think we need this, and that manifests as a want. But the truth is we are spiritual beings, and what we really need is lessons, learning, strength, power, experience, and all that comes from a little, when we face storms and situations. So never ask, why is this happening to me? always ask, what is Baba trying to teach me through this? And when you do that, then you will be very well off. So Baba says that the difference between true attitude, true consciousness, and false consciousness is very different. So, when you start having this true attitude, that then you face resistance, because people who think that expecting and living up to another person's expectation is the only way of life, they don't like it. And then they will try to chain you in many ways. They will try to, tell you all the morality associated with it, and they will, quote many things about how this person is sad because of you and that person is sad because of you. And then, sometimes people will just cry and weep and complain. But you have to understand that suffering and that pressure is coming from a false belief system, and don't fall into that trap, because if you get emotional, then Maya deceives you there. So you must understand that as a soul, you do the right thing, you don't do the expected thing. So right thing comes from the knowledge of what is your virtue, what you should do, what you shouldn't do. Baba is telling you all of that. So choose the rightful action. Don't fall into the trap of just doing the expected action. So because I'll tell you one thing, there was this one Mata, and she told me something very nice. She told me that when I got married, my whole family wanted me to leave the job, and I was into a government job that was permanent. And because everybody expected that from me, and they said that in our family the daughter-in-laws don't work, and that's our culture, and that's what is one of the pointers that will make you a good daughter-in-law. So you leave the job. And then she left the job. And then after 25 years of marriage, she had come, and she had not for 1 second she had stopped repenting that I left the job. Whenever she was treated not nicely, then she associated it with her status, that she doesn't have a job, so she's not being treated nicely, or the other sister-in-law is being treated nicely because she earns. And these kind of things happened all her life. And then she told me that after 25 years, when she had come to the center, she told me that I am suffering so much, and these people are not even grateful that I did it for them. So they don't even treat me well, whereas I left such a permanent job because they asked me to. So I said, you should never do something because somebody asks you to. You should also not do sometimes, we also have this attitude that I will not do it because you asked me to. So that's also not right. So you should take a very objective decision about what you really think is the right thing to do and what is not the right thing to do. Because if you do something because somebody wants you to do it, then you will naturally have an expectation that they should do what you want them to do. But the thing is, nobody can fulfill anybody's expectation. That's the law. And this is why you do what makes sense to you. If somebody suggests something that you should do this, take cognizance of it, think about it, and then do what makes sense to you. And don't do it because they told you. Do it because it made sense to you. Take personal responsibility for your actions. Baba says that our actions create our destiny. So we cannot say that I created this destiny because somebody asked me to know. It's your actions, your destiny. You gauge properly what makes sense to you, what doesn't make sense to you, and then you do it. And for that, you also need to listen to Baba just like you've listened to 2500 years of, falsehood. You need to listen to the truth that Baba tells you every day, and then take a very proper decision about whether what Baba tells you makes sense to you, or what the world tells you makes sense to you. And take your own decision, take personal responsibility for your decisions. No, you don't owe anything to anyone, and nobody owes anything to you. So this is something that Baba teaches us about truth. So the truth is a very big subject. So at most we can cover 2 points, 3 points, but that is not the whole truth. But I'll try to whatever I can today. Then you see, Baba says that when you go about your lifestyle, what is the true kind of, getting up, sleeping, eating, engaging that you should do. Now you see that even medical science says that, our intestine is very long. So it's not meant for consumption of meat, because that's not how the human body is designed. So, that's not the food that we are supposed to eat. That's what we started eating in Ravan Rajya, but that's not the food that's meant for us. And Baba says the true food for you is satwik food. So, that goes with, so your body and mind will be in harmony with you, the soul, when you eat satwik food, because that's the true eating. And Baba says that because you have been into this falsehood for so long, so the true way of eating doesn't make sense to you, because now your sanskars are all based on falsehood. But once you start experimenting with it, then you know that this is the true way of eating. Consumption of alcohol and cigarettes and this and that is not Brahmin-like. That is not the true way of, that is not what we truly consume in our original state. And you see that people write stories about deities where they say that Shankarji used to drink somras, and somras is alcohol. So, they will write stories like, Shankarji used to have somras and stuff, and then on Shivratri they will have bhang. Bhang is also an intoxicant, and these are the things that happen in these 2500 years which make this world of falsehood. And then you say that, and I have seen people who tell me that in their local temple, they on the day of puja, they prepare meat and eat meat. So that also happens in temples sometimes somewhere, because you see, in this world of falsehood, everything that was true is lost, and everything that was false becomes very popular. It becomes part of the culture. And then Baba comes and tells us the truth, and Baba says that you will face a lot of resistance when you start adopting the true practice, because people will label you as many things. People will label you as regressive, and I don't know what else. They talk about a lot of stuff. So Baba says, but you must know that ultimately the whole world will know that this is the truth. And you see, after so many years after Baba came, now there is a lot of discussion about this thing that, you get your protein from where the chicken gets its protein from. So, so there is this whole discussion coming up that it's actually a concept that's made popular, because they want to popularize it. It's a commercially propagated concept that, meat is good for health and this and that. So Baba teaches us that no, in your original state, in your state of purity, there is no consumption of any impure stuff. And Baba says that you need to now understand the truth about what is the true way of eating. And you see that Baba says that we will go to the land of truth, Sachkhand. What is Sachkhand? The Sachkhand is Satyug. So in that Sachkhand, nobody will eat anything other than sattvic food. So Baba says, you have to prepare yourself for that Sachkhand. So now you have to start practicing lifestyle and attitudes and behaviors which are in alignment with your true nature. And then Baba says, what is the right time to get up? The right time to get up is at 4. Just think about a deity sleeping until 7. Yes. See, you're laughing. So that's not something that makes sense. So how can you sleep until 7 and be a deity? So, you even the bhagats, if you see a temple being open at 7, you don't like it. A temple is supposed to be open by 4 or 5, and even 5 is the norm these days, but a temple is supposed to be open at 4. And Baba says that you, the soul whose original stage is a deity stage, so your right time to get up is at 4, not later than that. Your right time to sleep is at 10. And some days back, I heard a professor in a very reputed institute say that it is okay for children to, sleep late in the night and study. Just sleep, sleep until, study until late and then sleep at 2 or 3. And that professor has a history of anxiety. But he is not relating his history to his lifestyle, and he is suggesting what he did to the students. Yes, so he is saying that I studied until late in the night and it was okay for me and I still became a professor. But he is not telling that I had this history of anxiety because of that. So, sometimes people just tell you what they did, and just one aspect of their life they'll glorify that, anyways I became a teacher, or anyways I became this successful employee. But what about the other things that are happening in your life? So what accounts for that? So Baba says, and I remember, when we were children, we always heard that get up early in the morning and study. This is a concept, I'm telling you, I'm what, I'm talking about some 30 years back. So 30 years back, there was no concept of waking up at night and studying. We studied early in the morning. But nowadays, even parents say it's okay, sit up until late. And then what is the child doing? They are just opening their book and watching their mobile. So Baba says that getting up and sleeping on time is very important. There's a very good saying that we heard since childhood. Early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy and wise. But we forgot that. And now we don't know how to sleep early, how to get up early. And Baba says that is the true way to sleep and get up. And waking up until late in the night and watching your phone screen, that's the most damaging thing that you can do to yourself. And then Baba says that when you get up in the morning, there is this saying that whose face did I see in the morning? So it's very important, in India we always say, Pata nahi aaj kiska muh dekha tha, that So I don't know whose face I saw that I am having this bad day or this good day, and people always pay a lot of attention to seeing the face of somebody nice in the morning. So Baba says the true practice is, when you get up in the morning, sit in soul consciousness and sit in remembrance of Baba. See your original face and Baba's face first thing in the morning. Yes, and what is a face? A face is made of flesh and bones. That's not what we are talking about. Baba says not the surat but the sirat. Sirat means the qualities. So connect your Buddhi Yoga with your qualities and Baba's qualities. That's what you need to do early in the morning. Then Baba says, about every action that you do through the body. So Baba says, just like we understood that eating impure food is not our original nature, even engaging in lust and anger is not our original nature. So Baba says, now you change your relationships in such a way that you do not use lust and anger as the foundation of your relationships. Yes, sometimes our relationships are defined by lust, defined by anger, defined by attachment. But Baba says lust, anger, greed, ego, attachment, these are not there in your original qualities. And when you do work, so everything that we do these days is because of greed. Yes, you do something because you have to get something from it. But Baba says that that's not your original stage. Why do you do something? Will a deity just sleep all day? No, a deity would work, right? So they would use their body to create something. But why would they do that? For the salary, for the income, for the treasures? No, they would do it because they can do it. Yes, so you do something because you're capable of doing it. You don't do it because it will benefit you or reward you. Yes, you don't do something because of what you get from it, but because you're so gifted and you have got so many things, you just express it in action. So the basis of your work, your action is not greed. It's not what you get from it. It's what you've got through Baba, So Baba has given us so much that we need to express our gratitude by using all that in action. So, seva is a natural product of gratitude. And I will tell you, my life of seva started with gratitude. And I really felt that Baba has given me so much that, in terms of spiritual wealth, in terms of wealth of specialities, talents, time, energy, the capacity to think, understand. So I felt that that's the natural thing to do, that, you benefit humanity out of it. So Baba says that seva is a byproduct of your gratitude for what Baba has given you. So Baba says that you don't need to use lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed as the basis of your action. Your actions have to be motivated by self-awareness and awareness of your gifts and treasures. So you don't love somebody so that they can love you back. Yes, because when people say I love you, what they mean is I want love from you. They don't mean I love you. They say I love you, but they say you love me back. And as soon as that person starts loving you back, you stop loving them because you never intended that in the first place. But Baba says you love somebody because you are the child of the ocean of love. You are not loving somebody so that they love you back or you want something from them. Love is a natural state of the soul who is the child of the ocean of love. So Baba says, think about every aspect of your life and action where we are using falsehood and doing everything in a false manner and check it according to Gyan and start doing it in the true manner. And then Baba says that you will create a world where virtuous deities live, because when you do everything based on virtues, you will create that world called Satyug. Okay, Om Shanti.